For all you plant lovers out there, I thought we would do a fun, easy, and quick craft project today. It's called a garden stick, a copper wire garden stick. I have all the materials here ready to go. It will probably take 5 to 10 minutes. So if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive in. The materials that you're going to need to use today are a thick gauge copper wire. This is a 10 gauge copper wire. And then you're going to need cutters, pliers, bigger pliers, and some needle nose pliers. As well, you might want to pick a bead or a stone. I've decided on this turquoise stone and some turquoise beads. As well, you need, what is that? I think that 22 gauge wire will be for my beads and a 20 wire is for my turquoise stone. We are taking the 10 gauge wire and I'm just making a loop at the top like that, and then I'm going to follow it around into a circle, trying to make it as much of a circle as possible. You could also flatten this around an object to make it into a circle. Just take your time with it, and then I am leaning it up against the next circle. Perfect. And then I'm going to use my hands because I really like using my hands. So what I'm doing is I'm moving it so that it is in line with the top loop right here. I'm going to turn the circle, bend it, and now you have a loop at the top here. And then we are going to just do some funky designs on the stem. I'm just doing a little bit of a back and forth just to give it some texture. And you can have this stick as long or as short as you would like. I think I'm going to go about, let's see, I like longer sticks, so I will decide. Just keeping this down like this. And then I can check. I am just going to cut it off at about here. And I can choose afterwards if I want to cut it off more or less. Now that we have this structure, we're going to work on the details on the inside. First, because I'm going to hammer, I need my headphones because it's really loud and it hurts the ears. And we're going to just flatten this part here. Perfect. Once you're happy with how that came out, you're going to have to readjust to make sure that this loop here is back at the top again. You can twist it a little more if you'd like. Okay, now we're on to the next step. I'm going to start by securing this in place, and I'm just flattening this a bit so it's easier to work with. Moving this out, and I don't know if that looks flat, so I'm just bending it again. There we go. And I'm going to test my rock to see that it will land right in the middle. So yes. Perfect. So I have this turquoise stone, and again, this is the 20 gauge wire. And all I'm doing is wrapping it, putting it through the bead. And then I think I'll do a spiral on the bottom. Like that. Perfect. And like I said, I also really like glass beads. Glass beads work very well, but because I wanted to use some other smaller beads and I already had turquoise, that's why I chose to do turquoise stone and turquoise beads so that it matched. Okay, good. And then I will cut this off. And we're going to wrap it on the inside of this loop here. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to let it dangle some. So I'm going to do loops like this. Nice and consistent. Keep it open. Like that. And actually, I'll shut this. There we go. And then weave it through the top here. And then close the loop. Perfect. In fact, I think I'm going to make that loop a little bit smaller. It is a little big for what I want it for, so I'm just tightening it up a bit. Okay, perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to add some turquoise beads on the side here, just for extra detail. So now I'm taking my 22 gauge wire, and the reason I'm using 22 gauge is because these beads will fit the 22 gauge. And I'm going to do some detail around the side. I'm starting by wrapping the copper wire around, oops, wrong side, this side. And this will also hold the loop in place better. Okay, so we're just wrapping it around and then we're going to place some beads on it. Here we go. Some of these beads have really small holes, so let's see. Oh, that one works. Good. And wrapping it. And as you go, of course, the design I'm sure will change and you might add some things or take things away. Okay, I'm going to put another bead. In fact, maybe I'll put the bead on the outside this time. And I'm just making sure they're nice and tight. And cutting off this. Okay, so far I've got that. But I think I want to add some stuff on this side. I'm not going to add I'm not going to add beads, but I think I'm going to do some wire, and we're going to go with a thicker wire this time. So I'm going to do a 20 gauge. And I'm also going to see if I can pull this up because it kind of got distorted with, there we go. With the hammering, it moved. Okay. And I'm going to start right here and do the same thing, but actually this time I'm not going to use the beads. I'm just going to wrap just for some decoration on this side. Okay. And I'm going to take, no, this is the one I used. I'm going to do the 22 wire this time and go all the way down. It seems to be missing something, so I'm going to put a few on this side. Doesn't fit. And there you have it, a fun stick, plant stick that you can put into any plant inside or outside as decor. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.